News Panorama is a TV news magazine program that gives you the story behind the story.
It tells the stories the way they should be told by capturing the larger scale.
It deals with people's deep feelings on issues that, when brought to the fore, ultimately educates, informs, and entertains.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
Happy 65th Independence to Nigeria. Happy Independence to you and I. It is a new month and we're bringing to you lots of impactful stories all through the month of October. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has stated that the painful economic reforms introduced under his administration are beginning to yield results, while declaring in his Independence Day broadcast that the worst is over. According to him, Nigeria's economy grew by 4.23% in the second quarter of 2025, its fastest pace in 4 years, and above International Monetary Fund's projection. The president noted that inflation has also eased to 20.12%, the lowest level in 3 years, citing a record of surge in non-oil revenue, improved foreign reserve, and a booming stock market as a sign of renewed investment confidence. On the program today, we'll be looking at Nigeria at 65, where we are and where we ought to be. It is a must-watch. Welcome and thanks for joining me on the program News Panorama. I am Josephine Efanga. If you have just tuned in, you are watching News Panorama.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
As Nigeria celebrates her 65 years of existence with the theme, All Hands on Deck for a Greater Nation, some lawmakers have x-rayed her achievements so far as a nation. The Speaker of the Cross River State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Albert Anyambem, and the cross-section of legislators in an interview have spoken on the nation's journey so far with optimism for a better Nigeria. Assembly correspondent Esina Walene tells us more, the report.
Nigeria's independence 65 years ago marked the end of colonial rule with the lowering of the Union Jack and raising of Nigeria's green-white-green flag, symbolizing transfer of power at a formal ceremony in Lagos, where Tafawa Balewa became the first prime minister. 3 years after its independence, Nigeria adopted a new constitution and became the Federal Republic of Nigeria on October 1, 1960, with Nnamdi Azikiwe as its first president. Nigeria's Independence Day, October 1st, is an official national holiday celebrated annually by government. 65 years down the line, Nigeria has attained reasonable development in terms of infrastructure, health, education, security, but not without challenges. The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Albert Anyambem, and his deputy, Honorable Sylvester Agabi, speak on how Nigeria has fared in its 65 years of independence.
We have done a lot. The milestone we have covered is a lot. And then if you give us another 65 years, I'm pretty sure that we will overtake some of these countries that we see as developed countries. So if I go by your question, I will say yes, we have tried as a nation. The only problem is just the religious differences and the fanaticism that is dragging this nation backward.
A lot of developmental strides have happened. We have achieved a lot despite our challenges. So, and I believe that God will still make it possible for us in Nigeria to still live more additional 65 years. What I urge Cross Riverians to do is to continue to pray for the government, both in the state and the national level, and let Cross Riverians be patient, and let Nigeria be patient. It will be great and it will be good for all of us.
For the members representing Akwabuyu, Honorable Basi Basi, and Obubrawan, Honorable Lovat Agbo, Nigeria has tried in terms of development with room to achieve more, lauding President Bola Tinubu and Governor Basiu too for their efforts in transforming Nigeria and Cross River.
For decentralizing the legislative powers for electricity, for removing electricity from the exclusive list to the concurrent list. By so doing, the nation in the next few years from now is going to enjoy stability of power supply.
He's doing, in terms of road infrastructure, Mr. President is doing well, mostly like the coastal highway that is already ongoing, starting from Lagos, coming from Calabar. If that project is done, I tell you, his name will remain in the sound of time.
Members representing Ikom 1, Honorable Samuel Abang, and Biase, Honorable Francis Ogban, commended the level of development attained in 65 years, while urging Nigerians to support the present administration to deliver more to the people.
Our bills are also tailored towards targeting the national. How can we assist the national move on? How can we assist Nigeria in totality develop? Because Nigeria has been backward, there have been hardship in the town. So whatever bills, whatever motion we try to raise is how our people can be first carried along.
Right from the inception of independence, we have noticed so many changes in the country. There's a lot of improvement in the country, ranging from agriculture, security, and all whatnot. And to be very sincere, in the previous administration, this country to an extent was not safe. But in this administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we have recorded a remarkable peace in the country.
The lawmakers prayed for a better and greater Nigeria while calling on their constituents to be law-abiding and patient with government. For CRBC News Panorama, Isiana Wanene reporting.
At 65 years of independence, Nigeria stands as a crossroad. Once celebrated as a front-runner, the nation blessed with two global commodities, crude oil and palm oil, is however today a major importer of fuel. Farmlands that once thrived with palm plantations now lie abandoned, and the absence of proper palm exportation policies has further deepened the decline of a sector that once placed Nigeria on the global map. The question remains, how did we get here, and how can the country still recover from the lost ground? Dima Aidan tells us more, the reports.
Until 1973, Nigeria's economy was largely driven by the production and export of agricultural products, as well as the mining of coal and crude oil. The nation's exports promotion strategy hinged on major commodities such as cocoa, palm oil, and crude oil, which was discovered in commercial quantity in 1959. It is part of Nigeria's economic history that in the 1960s, the country was the world's leading exporter of palm oil. Yet, rather than investing in improved seedlings and value-added processing, Nigeria exported raw palm produce. Many believe that the discovery of crude oil changed the trajectory of the nation's economy. The sudden surge in oil revenues led to a sharp shift away from agriculture and agro-allied enterprises toward the petroleum sector. In an interview, Mr. Eric David expressed concern over government's handling of the sector. He noted that government hasn't prioritized building refineries. Because of that, crude oil is exported in its raw form. Meanwhile, Cross Riverians have commended the efforts of the Senator Prince Bassey Otu-led administration towards the revival of the agri-economy, but calls for stronger policies to reposition Cross River's agri-commodities in the global market.
I want to say that the Nigerian economy is actually in the rising position, especially when we are clocking 65. At least for subsequent time, we have been down, and for now, for all the modalities that have been put in place by Mr. President, I think Nigerian economy is rising, because if you check it now, food products are actually on a stabilized manner. I think Mr. President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing very well. We check the track record, the 2 years he has come in, he has done so much for the country.
At 65, Nigeria's economy stands at a crossroads. Citizens are hopeful that moving forward, government will not only prioritize key sectors, but also manage resources prudently, recover lost ground, and ensure sustainable growth.
As far as I'm concerned, talking about Nigeria's economy, we have the best economy. We can only actualize that or make it the best economy that we already have, if only there is what is called diversification. We can't be dependent on only crude oil and export economy to be competing with the whole world.
I think before the emergence of crude oil, we have palm oil, which are forefathers, which we believe they engage as a means of revenue to the states and to the federal government.
Nigeria's story is one of great potential and missed opportunities. As the nation marks 65 years of independence, the question remains, will leaders take decisive steps to harness agriculture and oil for long-term prosperity, or will history continue to repeat itself? For CRBC News Panorama, Dima Aidam reporting.
Nigeria clocked 65 years of nationhood on October 1st, but the anniversary comes at a time of economic hardship for many citizens. Raising inflation and the high cost of living and growing unemployment continue to test the resilience of the nation. While independence was meant to usher in progress and stability, 6.5 decades later, Nigerians are still grappling with the urgent need for sustainable economic development. Esther Etira tells us more, the report.
65 years after gaining independence from British colonial rule, Nigeria continues to stand as Africa's most populous nation and one of its largest economies. Rich in natural resources with a vibrant population, the country holds immense potential. At 65, the celebrations are overshadowed by harsh economic realities, though recent statistics indicate slight drop in inflation rates and signs of recovery in some economic indicators. Many Nigerians say these numbers have not translated into relief in their daily life. Food is still not available for all. Industry remain weak and unemployment persists, leaving citizens questioning how far the country has truly come.
I would say there have been ups and downs. The absolute great stride we've actually achieved over this period of 5 years. But if I'm to score them in a solid scale of 1 to 10, no matter how patriotic I want to be, I don't think I want to give them a 5.
Nigeria has been doing well. It's a function of perspective. The past 64 years, some people have achieved their dreams. Some people have become presidents, some have become governors. And for those kind of people, you say Nigeria has done well.
Experts urge that what Nigeria needs now is visionary leadership, effective policies, and collective efforts to redirect its economy towards sustainable growth. The Commissioner for Information, Dr. Erasmus Ekpang, and Commissioner for Commerce, Dr. Abigail Duke, says Nigeria remains one of the strongest economies of the continent.
Nigeria is a great country. We are great people, very visionary leaders, very innovative, very creative. Name it. Is it in the medical sector? Nigerians are making names. Is it in the creative industry? All over Nigeria, music sells all over the world. What is it? Is it in agriculture? We are trying our best. So Nigeria is a great country. So I celebrate the fact that I'm a Nigerian.
As a people, to encourage the government to work hard on what they're doing. So far so good. I think we're on the right track. We're doing well. We've been very relentless. We have tried our best, and we're seeing, the light at the end of the tunnel, coming up. So I want to say congratulations to Nigeria.
Professor John Iyang and Mr. Joel Indifon, both economists, acknowledge Nigeria's economic struggles, but emphasize that these challenges present opportunities to rebuild.
No government will set an agenda that will be negative. Every government is gearing towards positive changes and overcoming challenges. So this is the first tenor of Tinubu. Why I agree with many Nigerians that is facing a lot of challenges. I'm very hopeful that by the time the Renew Hope agenda is fully executed, there will be a very big change in terms of improving on the lives of Nigerians. But generally, let me say that
I feel that for now, Nigeria is doing her best, and the hardship that we are experiencing now, is geared towards the best. President Tinubu is trying his best. He cannot be at every geographical location to ensure that Nigeria will be at its best. It is we the citizens. A lot of people have said that it is not what the country can offer to me, but it is what I, as an individual, as a citizen, can offer to the country.
Meanwhile, residents expressed their frustration about the rising cost of living and widespread of unemployment.
Apparently, Nigeria is doing very well by the grace of God. Yes, I would say that Nigeria is doing well.
Nigeria may not be all what we think it should be, but I love it.
I cannot go against my country. They are trying their best. Those economies somehow, there's hardship. People are dying on a daily basis. But I think Nigeria is
on the development for a greater tomorrow. For CRBC News Panorama, Esther Etira.
In Nigeria's higher institution, strikes action have become a frequent disruption, leaving students in a constant state of uncertainty. In Calabar, the effects are deeply felt as prolonged academic breaks delay graduation, drain finances, and diminish the overall quality of education. The question many are asking is, how much longer can students bear the cost of institutional conflict? Gospel Michael tells us more, the report.
Incessant strikes in Nigerian universities have continued to disrupt the nation's education system, leaving both lecturers and students caught in a circle of uncertainty. The recurring industrial actions, often triggered by unresolved disputes between academic union and governments, have had far-reaching consequences on the lives and future of undergraduates. For students, the impact goes beyond just wasted time. The frequent halts in academic calendar leads to prolonged years of study, delayed graduation, and in some cases, discourage students from pursuing their academic goals. Many lose motivation while others are forced to divert their focus to menial jobs or alternative pursuits simply to stay engaged during the period of inactivity. Dr. Maxwell Eba, a lecturer at the University of Calabar, explained that the strikes are often caused by lapses in government's fulfillment of agreements reached with academic union. He stressed that such actions negatively affect students' lives.
It's always a result of lack of understanding or compromise between the bodies, that is lecturers, management, or students and management. Strike comes when there is a misunderstanding between two or three or even more groups of people. So definitely there will be some impact, majorly negative impact, except in some rare cases where students leverage on strike actions or staff leverage on strike actions to achieve one or two things.
Meanwhile, students lamented the continuous disruption in their education, noting that strikes action hinder their academic progress and cause unnecessary delay in their advancements. They expressed frustration that the circle leaves them uncertain about their future plans, including career opportunities and further studies.
So some of my observations are that, especially for those in public schools, that the government needs to improve infrastructure, they need to train the teachers, and also possibly restructure the curriculum. But then again, we now have a new curriculum, but we still have concerns because this curriculum, most teachers are not ready or well equipped to take on those courses.
Half of it is based on the fact that young persons and young entrepreneurs are beginning to take on the task of solving problems here in Nigeria. So to an extent, we are beginning to take responsibility, right, instead of waiting for the government to fix everything, right. And then on the other parts where individual capacity might not be able to meet the problem presented, well, the government, well, from this side, or from this point of view, right, I won't really say the government is doing much, per se. Right.
Education should be more effective by effective supervision. And the lecturers should be well paid. The lecturer welfare should be taken into cognizance, should be respected so that they will work with their mind.
They advise that the government ensure proper funding of education, a sincere commitment to fulfilling agreements, as well as engage in genuine dialogue with academic stakeholders so that Nigerian students can learn in an environment free from constant interruption.
It's delaying the whole process. Like I was supposed to finish next year, but now I can't finish next year. I have to finish upper here. And then when we resume school, they'll just be rushing us. I don't think it's fair.
Well, normally it's not actually a nice thing to go on strike because it delays students, admission and graduation, all those aspects are already shaken. So going on strike now is really going to be a very bad thing to hold us down.
While the incessant strikes reflect deeper challenges within the education sector, the need for lasting solutions cannot be overemphasized. A stable academic calendar not only benefits students but also strengthens the nation's future workforce. For this reason, the stakeholders must act decisively to end the recurring crisis and safeguard the integrity of higher education in Nigeria. For CROBC News Panorama, Gospel Michael reporting.
In a new directive aimed at easing transportation challenges, government authorities have granted tricycle operators, otherwise called keke drivers, an extension from the usual 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. The move is expected to provide relief for commuters who often struggle to find affordable transportation during evening hours. However, it also raises important questions about regulation and road safety. Josephine Idiege completes the story.
Until recently, tricycle operators, popularly called keke riders, were only permitted to operate between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. in Calabar. This restriction, intended to regulate movement and security purposes, often left many commuters stranded in the evening after closing hours, as many struggled to find affordable transportation home. Following repeated complaints from the public, the state government reviewed the situation and granted an extension in operating hours from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The move was aimed at easing transportation challenges for commuters while giving operators an opportunity to earn more. At face value, the extension appeared to be a win-win for both riders and passengers, but just days into implementation, the realities on the ground have sparked mixed feelings.
They allow this to get a pay from our normal time is from 6 to 6. Now they increase that. If you want to drive from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, you have to buy tickets. That ticket is 500 naira, which is not fair. If they want to extend time for Kekena pay, money. Tell us, so Kekena pay, want to drive from now till 8 o'clock, not for you to come and stand and collect us another money, which is not fair.
Personally, I'm very, very happy for the time they extend to us. But the only thing, they say we should buy ticket. That night ticket is 500 naira. That's the only thing.
On the part of commuters, many hail the extension as a timely relief, saying it has made transportation after work much easier and less stressful. They commend the government for listening to the people's complaint and acting accordingly.
People have mastered the other time, and now people are now afraid. You understand? Whether if there will be rot or something of that nature will happen if they enter from that system. So it now creates fear in the mind of people. So to me itself, I would suggest that they should maintain that former time than 6 to 8.
Actually, fine is Keke was moving like that this week. But some of them, the guy the Keke reduce and do one of two things: thief, kidnapper, and killing the people, and not allow them to ride until 8 o'clock. We must stop like 6 o'clock.
Others argue that although the policy is well-intentioned, proper implementation remains a challenge. They called on the state government not only to extend hours but to also strengthen security measures to protect both riders and commuters.
I would love government to try and give us understanding by adding another 2 or 3 hours for us to close by maybe 10 or 11 o'clock. That would be nice. And I promise that there will be no problem, okay?
Yes, security-wise, it's not too bad. It's just to relieve some things, you know, because transportation, when it comes to town service, it's always very difficult as soon as it is after 6 o'clock.
We buy tickets every day, 1,100. While minibus are buying tickets 550 naira every day, which is not fair. As in say this whole thing is too much. It looks as if that, as in we Keke here, that we make money too much more than minibus. I'm not happy about it. Please, I would love our government to do something about this.
This even drivers, I'm very, very happy because sometimes we always go to a mechanic and come out. It's late. That 6 o'clock is not going on.
The extension of tricycle operations to 8 p.m. is designed to ease evening transportation in Calabar. While many commuters appreciate the convenience, concern raised by operators over extra charges and by passengers over safety highlights the need for further adjustment. Until these issues are addressed, the policy remains a good idea struggling with flawed execution. For CRUBC News Panorama, Josephine Idiege reporting.
That is all we have on our lineup this week. We hope to be back same time next week. Do keep a date with us. I am Josephine Efanga.